Hello, it is Jay checking in with The Light of Impossible Stars by Gareth L. Powell, number 3 in the Embers of War series. The final book, apparently, where we have we have Sal and the Trouble Dog, and they've got Johnny Schmucker Schultz and Lucy's ghost, a little girl, and Chicky, who we haven't heard much from except for Lucy's ghost. And they are heading towards the singularity, where there's been, I guess there's time quakes, there's all sorts of, or reality quakes, things like that. And the Marble Armada is avoiding it. They don't seem to be going near it. So that is where they've decided to head for a place of safety. But they need some fuel cores stuff, so they're stopping off at a junkyard to get stuff. But unfortunately, another ship, one of the militaries, has stopped by and has apparently scavenged all of the stuff from this boneyard, which Trouble Dog finds very offensive because it's all these abandoned ships that have been kind of tossed here and then are getting ripped apart for parts. And as a sentient ship herself, she finds this very offensive. I guess all these ships are sentient, even if you're not military, because you need a mind to be able to get to the right level of supercomputing to be able to calculate your way through the upper ranges of hyperspace or whatever the fuck it is. Um, so there's that going on. We also have, well, we check in a little bit with Ona Sudak, who is still being a war criminal poet, and indeed the bear creature that she is the avatar of the Marble Fleet. It's like, oh, it must be quite hard having the empathy of art, but also being a butchering um, warrior and all that stuff. It's like, I find Onasudak and the Marble Armada very tiresome indeed, dumbasses as they are, moral imbeciles and murdering fuckheads. Just, yeah. Um, we also have Cordelia, who seems to be growing up on the planet, a planet that is right near this singularity, this eruption thing, and is got white hair, different color eyes. She and her brother, when her mother after her mother died, been taking care of their uncle, scavenging, and this is in the past, 4 years in the past. It looks like it's bad for them, but she gets picked up. She gets picked up by this crew, and it's with her father, and the father's like, I'm all through, not actually the father, but through a mind simulation of her father, says like, oh, I want to send you to flight school so you can replace me. And I don't know why it has to be her. It's not interested in the brother because I guess that was a stepbrother who just, when given the opportunity to go off planet by admittedly kind of shady people, he completely abandons her. And they're like, well, we don't care. We're only here for her. And he just completely abandons her, which is just like, yeah, the cowardly twerp. Which has another thing of like, he's got these kind of, he's good looking, and it's definitely kind of like a female good looking. He can get by on his looks, and people want to be with him because he's so hot looking. Women want to be with him because he's so hot looking. Very much kind of a role reversal in genders. Um, but yeah, she goes off to flight school. She comes back, and pretty shortly after, her father says, oh, okay, you're captain, I have to go off and do something. He goes off to do something. Apparently there's one of these reality eruptions. Everybody gets wiped off of the station, including her father, and this older woman is there, in an ancient antique suit, and what's surmised is that the the reality whatever eruption thing took all of the people in the thing, and it happened to wash up this woman as kind of detritus. So there's that going on. We've got this whole big thing with her, and she has like a dream of flying through space and turning into the spaceship she's on. Underneath, like, it's like her skin splits and peels away, and bloodied underneath is the spaceship. It's like, oh, we're gonna go into using dreams as ways to express the inner state of our character versus just doing that in any particularly thoughtful way. Or it just seems like a bit of a crutch to me, unless there's a literal spaceship turning into thing, which I don't think there is. I'm not quite sure why we're getting. I mean, it's interesting enough. It just went really poetical, dream-like thing, which is like kind of sucks. But I'm not sure why we're into Cordelia. Cordelia, who is quickly becoming the spaceship captain that she needs to be, and with purpose, because she wants to try and find her father if she can, and if not, to keep things going. That this ship with its little run around the systems that it goes around is a beloved fixture of the area. It transports people who really need the transport, and goods and all that stuff. So I'm not quite sure why we're getting this. It feels like it's the third book, and suddenly we're getting this whole new character and this whole new arc. And it almost feels like, because you're pushing out the older characters, Sal and Trouble Dog, where it's almost like we're pushing them out because Gareth L. Powell has lost interest in them, or can't think of any way to kind of continue to mine what was admittedly a fairly kind of flat and shallow stuff happening with them. I don't know. So that is where we are at the moment. I guess we'll see how it goes. Yeah. I mean, it's always listenable kind of storytelling. I wish it was more pulpy, but it is pulpy in a way. But it's just it opens a lot of the sections with quotes from great poetry, which is like, this is not a book of this is not a book that earns poetical little snapshots in the thing. You know, unless you use them to be kind of just like, yeah, kind of kind of gaudy pyrotechnics. It's like, no, I think he's trying to use them in a deep and meaningful way. I think at one point he quotes the Upanishads, "I've become the destroyer of worlds," going off of Oppenheimer and stuff like that, which is, you're really a hacky poet, Ona Sudak. All right. I will leave it there. I'm being grousy about this book, but I'm enjoying myself at the same time. Enough that I'm still listening to it. Or else, I would stop. I promise I would stop if I wasn't enjoying it. It's just like, it's always interesting to watch somebody who doesn't quite have the chops to try something, just to be able to notice, oh, wow, when somebody really does have the chops, it makes a difference. And yeah, Gareth L. Powell doesn't. All right, I will leave it there. I've been Jay. More videos later.